Welcome to my channel, Super Rare Coins. Today is best, top 3 coins. Please don't skip this video, so let's get it started. The United States of America 1-cent coin dated 1980D is a Lincoln Memorial cent minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark placed just below the date on the obverse front side of the coin. This coin is part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The 1980D penny retains the same basic obverse portrait of Lincoln created by Victor David Brenner in 1909, a right-facing profile of the 16th U.S. president, showing his dignified expression, detailed hair, and coat collar. Surrounding the portrait are the "In God We Trust" along the upper rim, "Liberty" to the left of Lincoln's profile, and the date 1980 to the right, accompanied by the D mint mark for Denver. On the reverse back side, the design that features the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which was introduced in 1959 to replace the earlier wheat ears reverse. This reverse was designed by Frank Sparrow, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver at the time, and shows the memorial in fine detail, including the tiny but visible statue of Lincoln seated inside, which can be seen under magnification. Above the memorial is the United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one just below. The denomination 1 cent appears prominently along the lower rim. The 1980D cent is made of the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy used for U.S. cents before the mid-1982 change to copper-plated zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and features a plain smooth edge. This composition gives the coin a slightly heavier and more solid feel compared to modern post-1982 cents. The Denver Mint struck a very large number of these coins, more than 5.1 billion pieces, making them very common in circulation. Because of this high mintage, most circulated examples are only worth their face value, though they are sometimes valued slightly higher for their copper content if bullion prices rise. Collectors often look for 1980D pennies in mint state MS condition, where the coin has full original luster, no signs of wear, and minimal contact marks. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS65 red or better by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can command a modest premium. Rare and valuable varieties for the 1980D cent include double die obverse or reverse, errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, cuts, and coins struck on foreign or transitional planchets. These errors can range in value from a few dollars to hundreds, depending on rarity and condition. Historically, the 1980D penny represents the tail end of the full copper era for us 1-cent coins, as just 2 years later the mint switched to the copper-plated zinc composition still in use today. It also comes from a time of high coin production to meet the demands of an expanding U.S. economy. Although most examples are common, the 1980D cent remains a popular date among Lincoln cent collectors, especially for those building a complete set of copper Lincoln Memorial cents from 1959 to 1982 in pristine condition. It offers a glimpse into the craftsmanship of the era, the symbolic design honoring Lincoln's leadership, and the enduring legacy of America's smallest yet most historically rich. Next, the United States of America 1-cent coin dated 1986D is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent series, which was first introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, and has remained a cornerstone of American coinage for decades. The D mint mark beneath the date on the obverse indicates that this coin was produced at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for striking circulating U.S. coinage by 1986. The Lincoln cent had already undergone a major composition change from the original 95% copper alloy used from 1909 until mid-1982 to the more modern copper-plated zinc planch. This new composition consists of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, giving the coin a weight of 2.5 grams compared to the pre-1982 copper coins at 3.11 grams. It measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter and has a plain smooth edge. The obverse front of the coin continues to feature the right-facing bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner in 1909, which has become one of the most iconic designs in U.S. coinage history. Above Lincoln's head arcs the national motto "In God We Trust," while to the left of his profile is the word "Liberty," and to the right is the date 1986, accompanied by the D mint mark. Lincoln's portrait shows fine details, such as his distinctive beard, hair texture, and coat collar, symbolizing respect for the 16th president's role in preserving the Union during the Civil War. The reverse back design, created by U.S. Mint chief engraver Frank Sparrow, depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., which replaced the earlier wheat ears reversed in 1959. This design includes careful architectural details, and with magnification one can even see a tiny representation of the seated Lincoln statue inside the memorial. Above the structure is the United States of America, while the motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one appears just below that. At the bottom is the denomination 1 cent, clearly stating the coin's face value. The 1986D penny had an enormous mintage, over 4.4 billion coins, which means it is very common in circulation today. In average circulated condition, it holds only face value, though uncirculated examples can be more desirable to collectors. Coins graded MS65 red, fully red color with no wear, or higher by professional grading services like PCGs or NGC can sell for a small premium. Collectors also search for error varieties such as doubled, die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on copper planchettes left over from before 1983, which can be particularly rare and valuable historically. The 1986D cent is part of the early era of zinc-based cents, which were introduced to cut production costs after rising copper prices made full copper cents too expensive to produce. This transition led to new minting challenges, including plating issues and faster die wear, making certain minting errors from this period more collectible. For those building a complete Lincoln Memorial cent collection, the 1986D is an essential piece, representing the mid-1980s chapter of the series. It is a small but enduring symbol of U.S. history, honoring one of America's greatest leaders while reflecting changes in the nation's coinage, technology, and economy during the late 20th century. Next, the United States of America 1 cent 1987D coin, more commonly known as the Lincoln Memorial cent, is a copper-plated zinc coin minted at the Denver Mint, as denoted by the D mint mark found just below the date on the obverse front side. This coin belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series, which first debuted in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of the 16th U.S. President, Abraham Lincoln. The obverse design, created by Victor David Brenner, depicts a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, showing fine detail in his facial features, hair, and clothing. Above Lincoln's head arcs the national motto "In God We Trust," while the word liberty appears to his left, and the year 1987 sits to the right with the D mint mark below it, indicating production in Denver, Colorado. The reverse design, introduced in 1959 for the coin's 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, was crafted by Frank Gasparo and features the Lincoln Memorial in precise miniature detail, complete with the statue of Lincoln faintly visible between the central columns, an element often overlooked without magnification. Above the memorial is the United States of America. Below it is the denomination 1 cent, and just above the denomination is the motto E pluribus unum, out of many. 1. Representing the unity of the states. The 1987 D Lincoln cent has a standard diameter of 19.05 millimeters, a thickness of 1.52 millimeters, and a mass of 2.5 grams, which reflects the post-1982 change from a primarily copper composition to a 97.5% zinc core with a thin 2.5% copper plating, a cost-saving measure adopted by the U.S. Mint due to rising copper prices. The edge of the coin is smooth, plain, without reading. In 1987, the Denver Mint produced an enormous number of these coins, over 4.6 billion, making them common in circulation. Though coins in uncirculated or proof-like condition can be of greater interest to collectors, circulated examples typically hold only face value. But mint-state coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading services may attract collector premiums, especially if they display exceptional luster, sharp strikes, and minimal contact marks. Errors and varieties from this year, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies, are sought after and can be worth more depending on rarity and condition. Historically, the Lincoln Memorial reverse was used on cents from 1959 to 2008, after which the reverse design was changed to honor Lincoln's bicentennial and then to the current Union Shield reverse in 2010. The 1987 D cent is a representative example of everyday American currency from the late 20th century, a period when these coins were a staple in pocket change, vending machines, and commerce across the United States. Its design connects modern coinage with American history, serving as both a tribute to one of the nation's most revered presidents and a symbol of the country's enduring values. For collectors, this coin often holds sentimental or historical value as part of a complete Lincoln cent date and mint mark set, while for historians it stands as a small yet tangible artifact from the Reagan-era United States, reflecting both the economics of minting and the artistry of U.S. coin design. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.